Hey guys, I'm Kari, Lincks, and I am here with Matthew Shilvock, the general manager from the opera company here in San Francisco, and we just want to do a tour of his office. We're actually doing an interview here, but we wanted you to see the live stream of it. So let's get started, shall we?
Come on in, let's take a look.
Wow, so this is his office right here.
We're still decorating, it's a little sparse at the moment, but what a beautiful view we have.
I love this view.
I know, we're looking out across the Veterans Building here, the War Memorial Court. You can peek around the corner, City Hall is around there.
That's right.
It's amazing light in here.
This is amazing. Okay, so what is this? What are these things here?
Well, a couple of goodies here to show you. The first, this is, let me show the camera here.
Yeah.
This is a ticket from the opening night of the Opera House in 1932, October 15th.
What?
Balcony J118. If you sit in that seat now, let me know. But J118, 1932.
So cool.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
And then this is a piece of the stage floor. Not from 1930s, but 1961 to 1976. Some amazing singers will have trodden the boards.
And it even
on
has
this.
a kind of a drawing here of the Opera House, which is kind of neat.
Just in case you forget where it comes from.
I love that.
I know.
Okay.
We have this amazing sound system in here, which the Maya Sound donated to us. John and Helen, dear friends. Helen's on our board, and this sound system almost never need to leave this office because the sound
Really?
this produces is incredible.
Okay, so I'm seeing here, over here, you actually have a screen
We do.
that looks onto the stage, so you can watch the opera while you're working.
We can see what's going on stage at the moment. It's a little dark. This is Andrea Chenier.
There you go, lights are turning on.
Andrea Chenier, Act 3. This is our opening production of the season, September 9th. And this is the courtroom in Act 3. This is where Andrea Chenier is condemned to death.
Oh.
So, of course, it's an opera. Someone's going to die. But this is a beautiful production from London and Beijing that we're partnering on. And hopefully they'll add a little more light as we go.
I love it. Wow, that's such a great addition to the office. And this is your desk here. All the magic happens.
I know. We have a great team. We get together in here and hopefully solve the problems of the world.
Yeah. Now, do you spend a lot of time in your office, or do you find that you're out and about, you're at the rehearsals,
I try to get to rehearsals as much as I can.
Yeah.
I wish I could be there more.
Mm-hmm.
But we have rehearsals in this building. We have rehearsals behind Davie Symphony Hall in the Zellerbach Rehearsal Facility. And we have our new space next door in the Wilsey Center in the Veterans Building.
Oh,
so
right.
we have orchestral rehearsals going on as we speak. So
Oh, great. So you pop over there and
pop over as much as we can.
I love that. Okay, well maybe we can just take a seat and we
Absolutely.
can get started on our interview that we're about to film here. All right. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. This is
This
very
is
exciting.
Really exciting. This is very exciting. Okay, I actually wanted to talk to you, phone on the floor. So everybody has that moment in life where you are inspired to take on that journey through a new career. So what was that moment, or who's that person that inspired you to be interested in the opera and actually work for the opera company?
Well, I think I had a very lucky first opera experience. I was 12. I was on a school trip to a small company in Birmingham, England. And they were doing, it was a contemporary opera, it was Beauty and the Beast. But it was a really immersive staging. The audience was part of the staging. Director Graham Vick, who does phenomenal work in that area. And it was a very powerful experience about how opera can really involve you as an audience member and get deep into your emotions. So I think that was when I got the opera bug, was at that point. It was very inspiring.
Wow, you're young.
I was very young, very young. And then I think it was in college when I just kind of got this idea, that this really masochistic idea of putting all the art forms together and trying to pull all the strands together would be something really, really fun to get into.
And you came to San Francisco in 2005, correct?
I did.
That's amazing. And then talk to me about your experience once you started here. What were you doing at that time?
Well, I came with my predecessor and mentor, David Gockley, and I got involved in a lot of his special projects. So I was heavily involved in our simulcasts that we now do doing AT&T Park.
That's right.
So
those are so fun. If you haven't gone to those yet, you need to check that out.
Yeah, we just did one, Carmen, July 2nd, we just had, and 28,000 people there. That's amazing when you see that many people enjoying opera.
28,000?
Oh yeah, and you can hear a pin drop in that stadium.
Oh my gosh.
It's incredible. So look out for next year's. It's we're getting the date as we speak.
I can't wait to see what you're going to do here. And okay, so I know you've probably been asked this a million times, but what is your favorite opera of all time?
That's a tough one. There are a lot of good ones.
There are.
I think for me it comes down to a Mozart opera, Così fan tutte.
Really?
I
love that one.
It's an opera about 6 people.
Yes.
It's very, very simple. It's a kind of an experiment in love. And the characters intermingle, they kind of swap lovers, and they kind of find their way back and learn some life lessons along the way. It's a great piece. It sparkles.
And we're getting ready to actually do our new season here coming up, starting September 9th. We have so many great performances coming up. What are you most excited about as far as the new season?
We have so much. I mean, we have just had almost all of the productions on stage in the last 2 weeks, so we've got a good sense of them. This Andrea Chenier that's still a little dark, but they're testing out the candles, I think. That is going to be very grand. Lush, Puccini-esque. If you love Puccini opera, you will love this. In fact, Puccini and the guy who wrote this, Giordano, bought a sports car together. They were good friends, so they.
I did that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
they come from the same place. Red Chamber, which is a new Chinese literature, that opens September 10th. And then as we look forward to the end of the fall, I'm really excited about our new Aida, one of the great operas that exists out there. And we have this very exciting new production, which is featuring the designs of a contemporary artist, Retna, who is currently also exhibited at the Legion of Honor at the moment as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, with the mummies. If you've seen the mummy exhibit, then you'll have seen his work surrounding them. So that is incredible. And we saw that come to life on stage a few weeks ago.
Oh gosh.
Incredibly powerful. So.
Yeah, and I've been following him on Instagram actually. He does a lot of, you do a lot of backstage photos and the moment photos. To make sure to follow him on Instagram, Matthew_Shilvock. He has a really great channel there.
We have some good vantage points from backstage.
I love that. Okay, so we talked about your favorite opera. If you could play any role in any opera, what would that be?
I'm going to pick 2.
Okay.
I'm going to take 2. I'm going to take Siegmund from The Valkyrie by Wagner.
Really? Why?
He's this amazing hero. I mean, he kind of has a short life. He gets killed in a battle. Yeah. But he has this great King Arthur moment when he pulls the sword out of the tree.
Oh yeah.
It's
that power moment.
That power moment. He has this passionate romance. It's with his sister, but we'll overlook that. But it's an incredible heroic role in opera, and then he fights a battle to kind of protect his family. It's a great role. And then the second one is if I could pick a pants role, and this is a woman playing a man, and I'm going to pick it purely for musical reasons, and that would be Octavian in Rosenkavalier, and that's purely so I could get to sing in that amazing trio.
I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah, because I love to hear that, and just the notion of actually singing in that, being on stage in that would be pretty incredible.
Do you sing?
No.
You don't sing?
Emphatically not.
Oh, really?
Emphatically not.
Well, hey, you appreciate singing, you're helping singers around the world, so that's amazing.
I'd love to be in the backstage supporting.
I love that. Okay, so we have a few questions actually that have come in through Facebook, and I just wanted to maybe ask you those. There's one here I really liked. It was, which supporting operatic character do you think deserves his or her own spin-off role? And why?
Sequels, I love them. There's one character, a really important character in a role, in an opera that gets almost no playtime. And that's in the great Puccini opera Turandot. And you have the Chinese emperor, Emperor Altun, who has almost nothing to say in the opera. He has a few lines that he croaks out. He's this wizened old emperor, and one of the most powerful people in the world at the time. And we know almost nothing about him. He has this daughter who has this bloodlust. She wants to kill every man that she comes across, to avenge an ancestor centuries beforehand.
Right. Okay.
What was their family life like?
Why was she so angry?
Why is she? Where did she get this from? What was Mrs. Altun like?
I like that.
It's an intriguing character that I think we could go deep on. That's a prequel, but I'll hopefully
I love
allow that.
And maybe we can bring that to the Opera Lab. It's actually next door.
I know, a new innovation space next door.
Yeah, talk to us about that. So this is one of my favorite things actually that just started at the San Francisco Opera. It's the Opera Lab, and it's right next door. They have a new facility on the 4th floor, $21 million renovation. It has incredible speakers and sound. You can make it sound like a dome. You can make it sound like you're outside. And also the multimedia, the projections that you can do on the walls is so great. And I don't think a lot of people know about that, so I was wondering if you could talk about what's in store for that, what was your favorite moment last season, just what you like about it.
Yeah, this is a brand new space for us. It's literally next door in the Veterans Building. I can see it from here.
You have the view.
I have the view, and it's a multi-purpose space. Used to be MoMA's home.
That's right.
Originally, and then the law library, and now we've brought it to life with these two incredible rooms over there. As you say, one of them has a digital acoustic system in it.
Yes.
In fact, with the acoustics and projections, we call it that digital chameleon. And the notion that it can become anything.
It really can.
It really can. We had some great productions there last spring. We have some coming up next spring, including The Source by Ted Hearn, which is a piece based on the life of now Chelsea Manning and the whole WikiLeaks scandal. So the idea is to do stuff there that you could never see on this stage here. You know.
And these performances are actually a lot shorter than an opera. They're about an hour to an hour and a half. And they actually have cup holders in the seats, so you can drink your wine while you're enjoying opera, which is one of my favorite parts.
Very important.
Very important. And they have another room next door that's really neat, the education center, but they turn that into kind of a place so you can get drinks, bites after and before the show. So I think it's a really
it's a great space. Come and check it out next time we're doing something there, and it's a way to get intimate with opera.
Yes.
You're right up close with the performance.
You really are. You really are. That is amazing. So another question that actually came in from you all on Facebook is from Kenneth Wilkes, and he asked, what is your plan for helping to promote the creation and performance of your new operatic works?
Great question.
Yeah.
We do a lot of new operas here. It's one of the things that we're very well known for, and they are great ways to engage the community.
Right.
They are us at our most creative, and at the moment we're doing the Stream of the Red Chamber piece that I mentioned, and that has been really exciting in terms of engaging the community, both the Asian American community and our broader community. And we've had events at the Asian Art Museum, the director Stan Lai, the designer Tim Yip. These are people with great followings themselves. We're pushing more and more out on social media and trying to, as you say, trying to get a little more savvy on that. Here we are, Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, I love it.
We're doing a new piece next year with the composer John Adams, The Girls of the Golden West, which we announced recently. A great Gold Rush opera based just a few hours up the road here.
Yes.
And literally today, our director Peter Sellers and his design team are heading up north to the Gold Country to go and explore some site-specific research. And so I've said to them, get some good photos. We want
we want to share that.
Get people excited. I know.
So
the tools we now have to engage people in the creative process is really, really very exciting.
That's great. And this also brings up the next question I loved from Facebook was from Susan Weiss. And she said, will you move forward into bringing more opera to more people globally and stream live more SFO productions? So is there, how are you going to get outside of those four walls of the Opera House to share that with everyone all over the world?
We have something very exciting here called the Correct Toby Media Suite. We've had it since 2007, and it's what's enabled us to do simulcasts, DVDs, TV, radio, and we have the capability to stream live from here to the world. And we're thinking about the best ways to do that. We have 10, 12 robotic cameras hidden away in the Opera House.
What?
Which we can control.
I did not know this.
Actually,
that is cool.
The room is above me, right here. Right above me is the heart of the media suite.
Okay.
And
is this one of the cameras?
This is one of the cameras. It's just a fixed camera. We can see the shiny on, but we have robotic cameras that the camera operators use joysticks for. It's amazing technology.
I did not know that.
We are the only company in North America to have that kind of technology in-house.
That's incredible. Wow. And so you can share what we're doing all over the world. You can do kind of special works, maybe on the stage. It's endless possibilities.
The walls don't exist around the Opera House anymore.
I love that.
You can be anywhere.
I love that. Okay, so as the new general manager for the opera, what are you most excited about as you take this role?
I'm just really excited for the community here.
Mm-hmm.
This is an incredible community. We have about 900 to 1,000 people who work here over the course of a year. And just providing a creative and empowering space for those people to bring to life these amazing works. We have people of every single discipline you could imagine.
Yeah.
You know, not just singers, but we have musicians, we have people who make shoes, we have people who dye fabrics. The list is endless. Yeah. And so just bringing those people all together is really something I'm very passionate about.
And I'd love to actually maybe visit with those people later. And then also, okay, so for Facebook, I wanted to also see this question. Let's see here. Okay, since there are so many other forms of entertainment today, I'm on my phone all the time. I go to concerts. How do you want the opera to stand out from all of the other options out there? Because there's so much to do in San Francisco specifically.
I know this is a city of every possibility.
You can choose what you do these days.
But I think what I love about opera is it's the one art form that just grabs you. It grabs your emotions, it pulls you in, it holds up a mirror and reflects the stories of your own life.
That's true.
That's why you come to Bohème or Tosca and you're in tears at the end.
It's true.
Even if it's in a foreign language, the music, the combination of music and voice and drama is really, really unique. And I think amidst all of those other options out there, we can offer something that is very unique, very special, and will really grab you in the moment. So I think just helping to communicate that to people, to really tell them this is a place where they can have an amazing moment.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people know too that you actually don't have to speak the language to understand the music. You do have super titles above
That's
in
true.
English.
That's true.
So because a lot of people ask me that, how do you know Italian? Do you know French? I'm like, absolutely not. I only know Spanish.
Right. You don't need to know anything coming in. It's all there above the screen. And in fact, for Red Chamber, we'll have the English above the screen, and then we'll have Chinese vertically on either side of the stage.
That's
so
incredible.
it'll be the first time we've done that.
Yeah. Do we have any more questions on Facebook?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We've got a question from Michael Shannon. He says, is there a difference between musicals and opera, and what role will the musical take in the future of opera, the art form of the musical?
It's a great question, and it's a thorny one because there is no official line in the sand. Musicals tend to be a little bit more vernacular. I mean, they are America's vernacular form of music drama, and they tend to have more speaking in them. They tend to have more defined songs than typical contemporary operas will. But it's a very fine line. Porgy and Bess, for example, is you can call it a musical or you can call it an opera.
Or even the Phantom of the Opera.
Exactly.
A lot of people think that's an opera, but it's actually a musical.
And we've done a lot of bridging of that divide here. We did Showboat recently. We did Sweeney Todd recently.
Oh, they're so good.
These are great work that we should be doing on this stage. So we will keep looking to bring those works to life here. And we can do them in a way that not even Broadway can now. Like a work like Showboat, a huge orchestra, a huge dance corps and chorus.
Showboat was amazing.
Yeah, those pieces sizzle on the stage.
Oh, they do.
So it's a great question. You could write theses on the difference between the two art forms.
You can. Are there any more that we have?
Yeah, we got one more.
Okay.
From Ilana. She asks, and she knows that you travel around to see opera. She says, did you watch the recent Aix-en-Provence Cosi? And what did you think? And she says, of course, can we bring it to SF? Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking, I know.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I would have loved to have done. I felt with the transition here, I should keep my feet on the ground. Here in San Francisco, it was a risque production, from what I hear, and I saw a little bit of it, but a powerful kind of new interpretation of the piece, which is great for a piece like Cosi. You can keep reinventing it, as you can with so much opera. These stories are about us as humans, and you can retell them in any number of ways. So yeah, well, I need to look at that a little more, Alana, and get to know it, but it was pretty racy.
Have you seen any other memorable recent performances of other companies that stand out?
I was just in Santa Fe, saw a great Strauss opera there, a Capriccio, which is almost never done. Santa Fe is really well known for Strauss opera, and I'm hoping we can do a little more Strauss here. That's Richard Strauss of Rosenkavalier that I mentioned earlier, very sumptuous music, even though it was only written in the 1930s, 1940s, so very recent but very romantic and lush.
Okay, so when you go to the opera, where do you like to sit? Do you like to sit close? Do you like to sit at the balcony? Where do you like to sit? I have my spot, but I want to know.
What's your spot?
I love the Grand Tier.
Grand Tier is great.
In this specific venue, the Grand Tier
Yep.
is my absolute favorite.
The
But
Grand Tier, you get like an unobstructed view of the
You
stage.
do.
It's amazing. The great thing about this house is, although we have 3,200 seats,
it's a
there
lot.
really isn't a bad seat in the house. The sight lines are great.
Mhm.
Up in the balcony, you get phenomenal sound. It just
Mhm.
mixes in a really interesting
Blends
way.
really nicely.
And then you have Opera Vision, which are our screens that come down, so you can see the
Mhm.
close-up still. Down in the orchestra, you really feel engaged with the stage. The thing I love, and this is, I guess not something that everyone can do, but is being in the wings and seeing opera come to life, like just
That's
peeking through the
me.
wings and seeing some great moments on stage, right there, right up close. So,
That's cool.
but again, with social media, we can give a few more glimpses
Yeah.
of that to everyone now.
And they actually do a giveaway during the performances. Then you do a selfie with, what's the hashtag one more time?
Hashtag SFO selfie.
So there you go.
Good hashtag.
That's a good hashtag.
memorable.
It is. If you do that, you take a selfie during the performance, you can have a chance to win tickets to the opera. So check that out next time.
Oh, and the other thing we're doing as well, increasingly now, is we're calling open curtains.
Yes.
So
now this is neat.
during the intermission of certain performances,
Yeah.
we will raise the curtain while our phenomenal stage crew
Mhm.
changes the scene from one act to another.
Yeah, you can see
And-
what's happening backstage.
We'll narrate, we'll take questions from the audience. It's a really interesting way to see how the magic comes to life on
Mhm.
stage. We'll see how. Oh,
Oh, still
gone
there.
completely dark now.
I think it's lunch break. Or something. Is there any more questions on Facebook?
Absolutely, we got another one
Okay.
from Genevieve. She asks, do you know any arias by heart or any that you'd like to learn or particular favorites in general?
Oh my goodness, I certainly will not be singing any today.
Well, not maybe not to
Let's
sing.
see you sing, Matthew.
I have to say, I have incredible respect for singers and
Mhm.
their memorization capabilities.
Oh my gosh.
I have a terrible memory and I do not know how they do it. So
In a whole other language. I
in a
mean,
whole-
it's
I know. And then these
incredible.
Wagner operas where they can go for 4 or 5 hours. And the
Mhm.
tracks of just long German that they have to learn is incredible. So I have deepest respect for that. I'm not even going to try and come
I couldn't
close.
do it. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even do it. Any more?
We got one from Nancy Flaherty. She says, I'm coming from Atlanta to see Red Chamber, and she's very excited.
Oh, we love that.
Great to have you here, Nancy.
Yes.
Is there any sort of talk opportunity or backstage tours available that you know of?
We have pre-show lectures before the operas begin, about an hour before the curtain starts. We're also doing a lot of ancillary events around Red Chamber, so depending on when you're coming, there hopefully will be some stuff going on with the local community. So if you check out our website, sfopera.com, go to the Red Chamber page, and there's a listing of the ancillary events there. But we like to get deep into these works and trying to look at them from all angles. So thrilled that you're coming in from Atlanta, Nancy.
Yeah.
And,
That's great.
thank you for making the trip. It's going to be worth it.
I love that. Okay, so I have a question actually.
Yes.
So when I know you were always in the opera house and you're doing your job and you're going to these rehearsals, but I want to know, okay, when you are outside of the opera house, what are some of your favorite hobbies? What do you like to do in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm. Well, we live up in Marin, so
Mhm.
just being up in Marin and
It's beautiful
it's
there.
beautiful.
Gosh,
Walking
it's
the
not
dogs.
foggy.
Not foggy at all. 30-degree temperature differential.
Love it.
Move to Marin.
It's
It's just being up there, walking the dogs, being with the kids in the playgrounds up there. That is really relaxing. I like to brew my own beer,
What?
so I
We
know.
need to check that out.
I know. It's,
We need another
we'll-
Facebook Live video on your brewery.
We'll see if we can start serving it in the opera house.
I would
but,
love that.
No, it's just being in this part of the world is so many great opportunities.
Yeah, that's great. And then I wanted to know, okay, so back to your job, what is probably the most exciting, fun part of your job so far?
I think there's two things, and they're both kind of two sides of the same coin. One is just seeing things come to life.
Mhm.
There are so many pieces of this jigsaw puzzle that have to come to life to make it happen, and just seeing all the elements of that. Going and seeing scenery being built, seeing the incredible costume team we have again over in the Veterans Building, building the costumes for Red Chamber, all of the intricate stitching they're
Yeah.
doing. So just getting a sense of
Yeah, to see
the
it come
enormity
together.
of it is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then just talking to people who love opera, and that's it's the passion that people have for this art form. It's infectious,
I love that.
and we have subscribers who have been coming for 60 years, routinely
Wow.
every single performance for 60
Wow.
years, and just getting to hear from them why they keep doing that, it kind of really motivates you to do the very best you can.
And I could tell, I love, actually Matthew came to our Bravo Gala lunch party at the Battery, and you were hanging out with us, which I love. He really does come and talk about opera at all ages. Bravo is a club for ages 21 through 40 who are interested in opera, which is you as well. And we do social events and kind of educate you on what the opera is, and then we have discounted prices for you to actually go and see the opera, which is kind of interesting. So
it's a great program. I encourage you to check it out because it really gets you into the opera in a very engaging and very accessible way.
Exactly. So I think that kind of, oh wait, actually we have a question on Facebook.
We have one more.
One more.
From Jim Meehan. He asks, in choosing operas for the season, how do you balance the needs of newcomers and subscribers versus new operas versus the standard repertory?
Well, we are a company that can do anything. Any piece in the repertoire can be done on this stage in terms of just the quality of the great artists we have here. And that is a wonderful thing, but it also makes it tricky to navigate which things to pick. And as I'm beginning to kind of sense now as we put together seasons for 2019 and 2020, it really is a great balancing act, and you want to find an entire season that appeals to a really broad and diverse audience. I think at the end of the day, for me, each of these pieces that we pick is so powerful. Most of them have stood the test of time. Of course, the new works are new, but most of these pieces have lasted for decades, if not centuries. So there's a really inherent truth and excitement to these pieces. And so whether it's Madame Butterfly or Yennefer that we recently did, I think for me it's going to be about communicating the excitement to the public. So even if you've never heard of these pieces, you know that if you come to San Francisco Opera, you can trust that it's going to be a really engaging experience.
And where do you go look for pieces? I mean, do you go travel? Do you go see these things live abroad? How do you kind of get a gauge on these new works or even old works?
There's a great network of companies that kind of are doing the kind of work we do, and staying current with what they're doing, what they're planning, what they're thinking about, sharing ideas, trying to put consortiums together so you can kind of invest in something and have partners in them. So it's not just a one-shot deal. So yeah, traveling.
Where do you like to go see opera abroad? I'm curious. Do you have any favorites?
I'm very partial to the Royal Opera House in London.
That's
back to my roots in England. But it's a glorious house, and it has a very similar aesthetic to here in San Francisco. So that we're doing this partnership for Andrea Chenier with the Royal Opera, as we've done for so many other things, is very exciting.
I have not been there, but I want to go check that out soon.
It's incredible.
I love that. And we have actually one more question on Facebook.
It's actually not a question. This is from Alexandra Mina. She is a grad student at the conservatory down the street, and she wants to say thank you to the opera for their relationship with their school and the opportunities that they're awarded because of it, and being able to come see dress rehearsals and lectures. She says it's a huge perk for her as a community. So I don't know if you want to comment on that.
It's wonderful, Alexandra. Thank you. It's great to have the conservatory now just a few blocks away from the opera house. So you have this just incredible energy here with the opera, the ballet, the symphony, jazz, the conservatory.
I love it.
It's all here, and finding ways to find exciting opportunities for students at the conservatory and elsewhere. We love doing that. So thank you, Alexandra.
I think that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching this live stream with Matthew. And also, if you have not got your gala tickets yet, make sure that you check that out on the San Francisco Opera page. It's September 9th.
September 9th. We'll be running in repertory for the next 3 months. So come and explore some fun worlds unfolding on stage here.
Yes. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Let's do this again.
Yes.
Thank you,
I
Kari.
love that. Thank you, Matthew.